Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome, Web Snappers here. Today I'm finally bringing you guys my creation that I've been working on for quite some time, and that will be the Marvel Legends Custom Ego. And,
So for the base of reference for this project, I'm going to be using this image here. And I think I matched up pretty well. I stayed pretty focused and had that open at all times. So whenever I was painting or doing any editing or crafting, I would just base it off of that picture. And I think it's pretty obvious. So yeah, let's get back to the video.
yeah, this took a long time to make, and I've been perfecting it. I haven't hung it up yet and figured out how to hang it up, but I really wanted to get this video out to you guys and show you guys how to do it at home. Um, but yeah, this has been what I've been working on for quite some time, and I'll show you guys here. Yeah, so I'm going to show you guys how I did it, and hopefully you guys can make something like this at home. So I got this isn't the movie ego, this is just the comic ego, and yeah, so excited I finally got this out to you guys, and here's clearly the scale for how big it is. It's just half a foam ball, one of these, and yeah, so I'm gonna get right into this video and show you guys how to do it, and I hope you enjoy, because I got another project coming up. I got some ideas, so yeah, let's get right into it.
Here's the supplies that I used for this creation, and I added some throughout the video. Like I went and picked up some different paints, and I found some stuff laying around the house that I thought I could use. But this was what I went out to buy, really, and I'll leave more descriptive list in the description. So first off, you want to kind of get the eyes down and figure out, because that's kind of like the center point of your face. So work with using an X-Acto knife to get the shape and try to cut out the center of the eyes. And just a reminder to stay patient, because you don't want to rush this and have it end up looking a different way. Be patient and go slow and keep looking at your source to make sure it's accurate. After I kind of got the chunks out of the eyes, I start pressing the foam down to so it's flat on the inside, so I'll be able to apply paint and it looks like it's deep from within the planet. And here you can see I'm just using the tip of a pen, and I was pretty happy with how it looked. Here's kind of the end result with the eyes that I got. I wanted to make them look a little angry and menacing. So next up, you have to sculpt on, or at least put together, the bone structure of the eyebrows. And so I used some pretty easy clay and looked at the picture and was just kind of trying to get the basic shapes down onto the foam ball, and use my finger to kind of smooth it out, make it so you can paint it, because you want to make sure that it's all one piece and kind of all flows together. And it's challenging and takes time, but the more time you spend on it, the better it's going to look. So once you're done sculpting, you're going to want to lay some foil down on the planet and then place the clay on that, so that when it cooks, it still has that rounded shape, so you can place it securely onto the foam ball and it isn't sticking up and protruding. While that is cooking, we're going to work on these little moons that float around Ego, and to do that I have these wooden balls, and I'm just putting on some paint down on them, and we'll probably glue them onto the foam ball, and this is pretty easy. So this is kind of a really cool thing I discovered, so I wanted to kind of make indentations and kind of change the texture of the surface of my planet. And so to do that, I used heat from a lighter, and as you can tell, it creates a very awesome effect, and it works perfectly for this project. I highly recommend doing this. And just a note of caution, be careful, because your foam will catch on fire if you heat it up for too long. Next, I'm going to start sculpting these little sphere things that are on this part of his face. And to do that, I'm just going to be rolling little clay balls and working in that little heated up area that I kind of melted down. And this is pretty easy. We just roll them up into little balls and stick them on right there, kind of like that. And make sure you get a lot of different size variations because that really captures this look too. And I think it looks super cool. And you just keep doing this, but I recommend you roll all the balls first and then place them on kind of all together like I'm doing here. And make sure once you get it all placed that you actually, I suggest you just place the balls on this foil piece first instead of on the foam, so you don't have to take it off and then put it back on, just so it cooks more in the shape that you want to glue it down in. I warn against this because, as you can see, because I had to take it off and then try to reapply it on the foil, it didn't glue down in all the creases and crevices that really, I think, make this come alive. So I had to glue, and it took a lot of work to kind of push and hold and glue these down. So lay the foil down first, and then place the little balls onto that, and any structure that you're sculpting onto him. Just make sure the foil's down so you don't have this problem where you can see that it is just like it's like it won't go down, and it just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb.
So now I've been working on this mustache piece for a little bit, and there you can see under it I got a little bit of a lip that I really wanted to get. I have to sculpt in the hairs and kind of fix this part here, and then work on this mouth hole a little bit better and make it more frowny. Kind of burnt this down a little bit with the heat right here, so I can, because this is, I'm trying to sculpt like kind of with the heat, sculpt in the kind of how our face is kind of dipped down there from our nose and kind of there on both sides. This is much smoother and really looks a little bit better. I kind of got to get in right here, but I didn't want to burn this clay. But once I sculpt in the little whiskers kind of at the ends here, this piece is going to be going in to be cooked, and that'll be another part checked, and then I'll probably work on the little honeycomb like structures here. And then I also burnt a little bit of into his forehead there. I just finished up the lip here, and all I did was, you want to make it pretty big too, it's pretty prominent on him. So I just rolled them up in balls. This was the biggest one, and it kind of gradually got smaller, and I just attached them. I just kind of stretch them out to how they needed to look. I kind of rolled these down to a more finer tip right there, and I kind of carved out a little. Here, let me remove this. I don't think this is gonna pick it up. There's like a little hole in there, so I can place this in there. There we go. Oh, I'm working on the honeycomb pattern on the side of his face, and it's coming out all right. It's by no means perfect. This is probably the hardest part that I was working on for a while now, but I gotta smooth out all the edges and make them one piece. You can kind of see I used the paintbrush to do it. Like, I would take this paintbrush and I would like just go. So we can do it for you guys here. There. And now it's like one piece. But it'll take a little longer. This is one of the trickier parts, is getting that design down, but once you got that, it'll look great. So take your time. Continue to paint a little. You know, it's gonna take some coats. Got this all glued on, baked. It's okay. It's okay. I got this glued on and baked. I carved in a little more hole. It's glue. It's drying right now, so I gotta sculpt this beard here probably next, and I'll end up probably painting this since it's pretty much all purple. since the last kind of clip. So as you can see, I've got a lot going on here now. Starting to apply some paint, and this is something else I've recently acquired. Yeah, caulk. And what that does is it allows me to kind of plaster on some stuff like this to the side of his face. And I take a toothpick and like this and make little holes in them. I'm going to work on this one a little later. It also allows me to fill in little gaps. Let's see if I can get my toothpick to point it out right here. So if my clay doesn't fill it, the caulk will. And then I also laid down some caulk and right here. I might add a few more craters, really. Got the beard. I just gotta add in the rest of the facial hair here. This is a little more darker than I want it to. The caulk is really important right now for me. I might have to resculpt this part of the facial hair. I'm gonna have to probably cut it off there. We'll see. I'll hold this up a little so you guys can get an idea of what I'm looking at here.
So here we're just painting the beard, getting a basic layer of paint down, and that's pretty much all you do for the most part. And we started adding different shades of purple onto the planet. Have your the phone there so you can see, kind of get an idea, because it can be hard to see where to put the pinks and purples because the pinks and purples are really scattered randomly throughout. We've decided that the pinks is a little too bright and neon for what we want here. I've applied this new caulk design though on the side of his face. I'm going to flash the image up here now of what that's based off of. Also used the caulking to create another crater on the side of his face here. And this is how it's looking so far with the shadow effect. It's oddly coming together, and I'm really happy with how it's looking.
Colors that I got with that purple. So I made a slight mistake that I don't want you guys to try. I used pen to try to make little hairs. That is really bad because painting over it has become a serious pain, and it's not really coming through. I put a lot more coats on the eyebrow. I might need to put some caulking to get rid of this crack. This is the top of the forehead looks, and I painted the inside of this crater and added the pen for that pink right there, and that looks cool. Painted up this here. Applied some more black on the side of his face and painted up this little bit. I did some more caulk design on this to kind of get this flare effect that I'll post up an image here. I applied some more paint on this side, different colors, and I'm just trying to see what works here. I'm trying to paint the inside of his mouth, which isn't going very well. He applied some caulk here. I'm gonna have to paint it white, or not, I'm sorry, not white, pink. I gotta sculpt with the last bit of my clay here. The last of the facial hair here, and probably a little bit there, and that's gonna be it for all my clay. And I'll have used it all. I might put some more caulking on some of it, but yeah. So I just redid the mustache using the caulking. I'm liking how it looks a lot better than it did in the previous, and I sculpted some more of the mustache here, added some more caulking for a little extra hair, and glued this side down so the beard's looking a little more full. I think it looks a little better, and I can continue to add more caulk if I need to, or remove it, but so we're gonna let this dry and start painting some of the newer additions. Like this is now dry-ish. Yeah, this is dry. I added this there, continuing to roll up foil like this, and then just glue it or cover it in caulk and put it there. so guys, this is it. We finished finally. I got my planets kind of glued on, or not glued. I used these toothpicks and put them in there and set them there. You can glue them, of course, but I just have them there just temporary for now in case I want to move them. I spray painted this glitter on it, and I think it's shining through. Attached some glue and toothpicks there for this one, and they stay in place, of course. Gosh, it's so exciting to finally have this done. My girlfriend did an amazing job painting on the shadows on the facial hair. She got a little on there too, got some shadow there. Gosh, that glitter just looks great. She did this there, right? On this, looks great. She's just, looks amazing. And got some more in there. Got the shadow going. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, watching, and supporting my videos. Hopefully you enjoyed. I'll be back with you in another video shortly. Something a little different, but equally cool. So yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out.